Um, let's see what else we have. So this is when we're talking about game, less is more with girls, and that's one of those like what would you say? It's just a catchphrase that I've caught myself using over and over because quite often guys will reach out to me when something has gone south. Guys don't reach out to me when things are going great unless they want to take it to the next level that they've never taken it to. They usually reach out to me when something has gone south, something important to them has broken, or the girl's changed her behavior, or what they normally say is, I knew I shouldn't do this, but I did it anyway, and it bit me in the ass. How do I fix it? And that's who reaches out to me. Guys that are very accomplished, good with women, but they made a mistake that they will self-admittedly they shouldn't have made, but they did it anyway, and it bit them in the ass. So with women, if you'd like to avoid having to call me, less is more with girls. As men, we are taught more is always better. Our default is to take action. Lift more, earn more, work more. But with women, you'll be more successful with less. Text less, talk less, initiate contact less, care less. Girls love an aloof and indifferent man. And that's the real deal. Anytime, I kind of like put out some basic alpha texting suggestions, like no punctuation, no capitalization, fewer words, let her initiate more. This is after you're fucking her. You can let her initiate. But generally, when men apply these texting, which is really essentially less is more, you get an almost immediate return on your investment. Girls are more receptive. They start taking more action. They start chasing you. And that's the power of less is more, because men are by default, if we're not sure like what a girl's thinking or where she's at or what's going, our default is to take action, to reach out to them, to ask them what's going on, or but when you learn this, you find that if you can just restrain yourself from taking action maybe a third of the time and just keep on trucking, or reach out to a different girl, or go to work, or go to the gym, anything but reaching out to her, you'll find that they'll reach out to you more often. They will be more receptive to you when you do reach out. All kinds of good things come from this, because most guys, it's hard for you to see how most men behave, but we have insight just, over time. They're blowing her phone up. They're chit-chatting all day. They'll do FaceTime while they're driving to work, talk all at text. Hey, it's nonstop, and it just wears girls down. Whereas you're there, you hit it, and then you get it. You're there, and then you're back on, for lack of a better phrase, you're on your mission. You're on your job. You're talking to other women. But less is more with women. And if you notice, if you can just pull back, talk a little bit less, slow everything down a little bit. You still have to initiate. You still have to do some things. But if you pull it back like by a third, you'll find yourself hitting it just right. And this is one of those things that guys, especially when you're kind of like learning game, you say, I need to put this into play. I need to do this. I need to do this. And at a certain point, you're doing enough, and it's time to kind of like tab it back a little bit, just a third. That's what I always recommend to guys. Text a little bit less, use fewer words, anything that's more laconic, a little bit slower, easygoing. Let her be the one with the energy sometimes, because guys, we tend to overwhelm girls, but you have to trust me on this, that she's not going to be bored by herself. She's always got somebody in that phone. She's got girlfriends. She's got her family. She's got orbiters. You want to be the guy that takes action in person, not by texting or DMs or through Instagram. You want to, if you're going to take action, it's in her presence where sex can happen. And that way she can chit chat all day with other dudes, but you're the one that she's having sex with. That's a win-win for us. And that's why we say less is more with girls. And if you find girls, and they'll do this on purpose and unintentionally sometimes, they'll pull back. Like you hear from her almost, every day, and then you don't hear from her. Let it ride. Let it ride. If you don't hear from her, let it ride. You don't have to reach out to her. Hey, what's going on? I haven't heard from you. Let it go. Less is more. A lot of times girls will test you. They love to play their own games that they want to see if you'll freak out, if you'll become needy, if how much does he really like me? Back it off. Back it off a little bit and let her do whatever she's doing. And you talk to other women. And that's usually the best thing I say is just, well, what do I do with my freedom? Well, talk to other women. You run enough women at one time, after a while, you don't notice. I mean, what happens is you go, fuck, what happened to that girl? And she just dropped off. She probably got a boyfriend. Her ex-husband came back. Boyfriend got out of jail. It could be anything. But it doesn't matter because you completely missed it. It didn't matter. But you're already rolling with 4 or 5 other girls. So the more you have that you're talking to or moving towards sex, the better off you are. And you'll tend to manage them all a lot better. And women sense that, that feeling of abundance that really carries over into all your conversations and the way you carry yourself. Because if this one doesn't work out, that's okay. There's another bus coming every 10 minutes and you can get a hold of it. So that's the real deal. If there's one thing you put into play today, let it be less is more. If you're struggling, not, if your game's good, don't fuck with it. But less is more with girls. As men, we're taught more is always better. Lift more, earn more, work more. But with girls, you'll be more successful with less. Text less, talk less, initiate contact less, care less. Girls love an aloof and indifferent man. I've lost my ability to speak this